Tonight, we are coming at you with 10 things I want to talk to you guys about. Hey there, and welcome back to the Mini Weekend. I'm your host, Jack. Let's get into it, Mini. Wow, that's actually not bad. First Mini Weekend podcast with a little bit of a different format. So tonight, instead of just going through our usual spiel of everything and anything, tonight we are coming at you with 10 things I want to talk to you guys about. And we're going to start it off with one of the big reasons why we do this podcast, or during the podcast. And tonight we're coming at you guys with Liquid Death. And it's their Killer Cola. It almost has like a little lime taste to it. For those that are new here, you might be wondering, what is Liquid Death? Liquid Death is a better-for-you beverage company with water, iced tea, and sparkling energy. Murder your thirst and death to plastic bottles. Simply put, this company was started by two gentlemen out in California who were skaters, and they stopped drinking, and they were getting sick of going to parties, having to tell people that they weren't drinking, and, oh, no, I don't want to drink, no thank you. So they essentially started off creating a company that had cans that looked like they were somewhat drinking, so people just would stop bugging them about it. And it turned into this huge conglomerate, huge company, and it's super, super cool. I urge you guys to go check them out. LiquidDeath.com. This is like everything else we have on here. They tell you all about their beverages. They have merch. You can find out where you can buy them. They have a country club about them, and they have all different kinds of merch, like I mentioned. One of the first things I saw when I came on the website tonight was they have a Liquid Death and Spotify mashup, a music streaming urn. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I might have to get one of these. Maybe not. It's $500. So if you have $500 sitting around and you want to, by all means, have at it. It is currently sold out, so if you are interested, you're going to want to go to liquiddeath.com and click on the notify me when available. But outside of that, they have a lot of really cool merch. They got drinkware, t-shirts, water bottles, a little mini fridge for all the drinks. And the really cool and nice thing about these is they're priced like 12-ounce cans. But as you can see, they're tall boys. They're 16-ounce cans, and I really like this one. Excuse me. But yeah, like I said, they have a lot of different kinds of beverages. Sparkling energies, which I have not tried yet. In fact, I kind of forgot that I was in Target a couple weeks ago and saw some of them and was like, that's new. Didn't get any though. But they have a soda-flavored sparkling water similar to what we're drinking right now. They have severed lime, Dr. Death, cherry obituary, pina colada, deathberry inferno, grapefruit, root beer wrap, just to name a few. But, I mean, like I said, they're very tasty. One thing to consider is, once again, it is a sparkling water base. The first couple times I tried them, I was like, it's a little too watery for me. And I felt like an idiot because then after a couple minutes, or after a couple of times reading the website and stuff, I was like, water base, Jack. Like, what did you think it was going to be? They're really awesome. Most, if not all, of their sodas have less sugar, no caffeine, no artificial sweeteners, only 10 calories, 2 grams of sugar, infinitely recyclable cans, and a portion of their proceeds are donated to help kill plastic pollution, which is really cool. And a lot of these have traditional cola with vanilla, caramel, and orange flavors. So, like I said, go check them out. You guys will not be disappointed. This one, like I said tonight, is a Killer Colada. It tastes more like a Coca-Cola than a Pepsi, which is fine with me. But it tastes like a Coke Lime, which I am really, really digging, and I really like it. So, wrapping up our first topic, first thing we want to talk to you today, Killer Colada. I might have to go Killer Cola. I might have to go out of my way to get this again. So far, this might be one of my favorite ones, and we've done Dr. Death, their version of Dr. Pepper. I think I gotta go 9.2. This is really good. And go out of my way to get it again. Fan-freaking-tastic. And yeah, can't say enough about it. So, yeah, second thing I thought I wanted to talk with you guys tonight is the University of St. Thomas men and women's teams playoff. So, for starters, the men's team is not in the playoffs yet. They still have one game left to play tomorrow, the 28th, at 6:07 p.m. At Bemidji State, and it is a big one. They're currently, after earlier tonight's loss. They're currently 2 points behind Augustana for the number 1 seed. But as we know in hockey before, seeds don't matter a ton. But yeah, should be an interesting one. They're gearing up for CCHA play and are sitting coming into their last game with a 18-11-4 record and 15-7-3 in the conference, which is pretty outstanding if you're asking me. As for the women's team, their regular season has come to a close. In fact, they had their first WCHA matchup against the number 2 seeded Ohio State Buckeyes earlier today. But before we get into that, I thought we would go over some of the leaders from the regular season. So for the regular season, the women's team saw Riley Bartz lead the way with 17 goals. Chloe Boreen was the closest behind her and the only other player with double-digit goals with 10. Whitney Horton had 9. Ella Berger had 8. And Isla Lindemann had 7. Then a lot of those same women were top 5 in points as well. You had Riley Bartz with 30 points, Ella Berger with 27 points, Chloe Boreen with 21 points, and then both Whitney Horton and Madison Brown with 18 points apiece, leading the way for the top 5 for the women's hockey team. The team had Julia Minotti, who played predominantly most of the games for them, posting a 9-20-1 record, finishing with a 900 save percentage and a goals against average of 2.93. Amy Strong was right behind her with 2.83. Outside of Julia Minotti, nobody really played too much. Danny Minotti had a 3-1-0 record. Nora Hannon 0-1-1. And then Maggie Malekcha, I can never pronounce her name. She actually suited up for a game, but never actually took the pipe. So that's how the team rounded out the regular season. And then, yeah, like I said, they are currently in their first round matchup, best of 3 series, all 3 of them in Columbus, Ohio, against the Ohio State University. Earlier today, they lost by a score of 1-5, with Whitney Horton scoring the lone goal, happened to also be unassisted. And for them, game number 2 will be 2 o'clock tomorrow, Saturday, and then game 3, if necessary, Sunday, 2 o'clock as well. So needless to say, one way or another, at the start of this upcoming week, Monday, the women's team will either miraculously have moved on or will have their season closed out. So that's what we have for them. The third thing I wanted to talk to you guys about too, we brought it up last week on the podcast, but the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. So a really great time of year for Minnesota high school sports. First of all, I want to give a quick shout out to all the girls teams as they wrapped up their tournament this last weekend. And for those that don't know, there's 2 classes. There's class single A for smaller schools. It's based off of like school sizes. And then 2A, which is like the bigger schools like the Minnetonkas, the Edinas, Webber Lakes, Stillwaters. Single A is like your Warroads, your Dodge County, Breck, St. Cloud Cathedral, Mankato East, Lake, those kind of things. Without further ado, we're just going to go from the top down. We're not going to list everybody, but top down. Huge congratulations to the Breck School / Groves Academy winning the Class 1A state championship. The Warroad Warriors were runners-up, and then it was the Dodge County Wildcats who won the 3rd place game, and then it was Proctor Hermantown who won the consolation bracket. So a huge congratulations to all those teams. And then in Class A, huge shout out to my alma mater, Hill Murray, as the Hill Murray Pioneers beat Centennial Spring Lake Park to go back-to-back state champions. So a huge congratulations to them. Big congratulations to Centennial Spring Lake Park for a heck of a game. Dang near coming back and tying up the game late in the 3rd period. Being runners up, Holy Family Catholic was the winner of the 3rd place game in Class 2 AA, and Farmington would be the consolation winner. So obviously a huge congratulations to those 4 teams, and the other 4 teams. You're only guaranteed 2 games at state, but even the 2 teams that lost and only played 2 games, to be one of the top 8 teams in the men's or women's. There's tons of high schools all over the state of Minnesota. To be a top 8 team is no easy feat. So congratulations to all 8 teams. And then for those who might be interested in the boys state tournament, it has not started. It won't get started until this upcoming Thursday, but the field is set. So representing in Class 1A or Single A, Section 1 will feature Dodge County Wildcats. Section 2 will be represented by Delano. Section 3 Single A, Mankato West. 4 Single A, Matamidi. 5 Single A, St. Cloud Cathedral. 6 AA, Northern Lakes. And Section 7, Hibbing Chisholm. And then Section 8, the War Road Warriors. And then with the conclusion of the 4 AA championship tonight, the field is set for Class AA as well. So from Section 1, it'll be Lakeville South, upsetting number 1 Farmington. Section 2 AA will feature the Minnetonka Skippers. Section 3 AA will have the Rosemount Wildcats. Section 4 will feature Gentry Academy. Section 5, Andover Huskies. Section 6, Edina Hornets. Section 7, Grand Rapids Thunderbirds. And Section 8, the Moorhead Spuds. So yeah, once again, a huge congratulations regardless of who happens, regardless of who wins the consolation, regardless of who wins the state tournament. Runner-up, third place game, 2 teams that are 2-0. Huge congratulations to all 16 of these teams. No easy feat to make the tournament. You just gotta beat the teams in front of you. And can't wait to see how that all shakes out. For Class AA, I'm guessing, can't remember who finished where, but Minnetonka and Moorhead will more than likely be either 1 and 2 seed respectively, or 2 and 1 seeds respectively. So should make for a fun tournament. Fourth thing I want to talk about, the U.S. men's hockey team won gold, beating Canada. Could not be more happy. But before we dive into that, they won 6 games in a row to their gold medal finish. Latvia in pool play 5-1, Denmark in pool play 6-3, Germany in pool play 5-1, Sweden in the quarterfinals 2-1 overtime win, Slovakia in the semifinals 6-3 win, and then against Canada 2 in overtime. And guys, I just talking about it, I'm getting excited. It was an unbelievable game, an unbelievable end to the game. First time since 1980, U.S. team is the men's gold medal winners, and this is the first time in history that both the U.S. men's and women's teams are standing gold medal finishes, which is just unbelievable. And if that wasn't cool enough, our very own Matt Boldy scored the first goal in the game, gold winning medal game, and God, was it a sick one. He essentially split Cale Makar and Devin Tays to put us up 1-0, and it was the epitome of, he's obviously very talented, but it was the epitome of, you don't need to be the most talented player out there, you just need to be the hardest worker. Like, both Devin Tays and Cale Makar, if you go back and watch the clip and the highlight, both of them just assumed he was going to do, your typical dump in, go chase after, go around one of them, go chase after it. He dumped it in, and then he split the defenders and simply outworked them and outskated them to the puck and beat Bennington 5-hole to go up 1-0. Just a wonderful goal. And another fun thing before we get into the next thing I want to talk about this game, a couple notes that I wrote down. We were outshot by Canada 42-28. Both teams went 0-2 on the power play. Quinn Hughes was named the tournament's best defender, and Connor Hellebuyck was named the tournament's best goaltender. Canada's outshot is 42-28. So for those that might not know, Mr. Nathan McKinnon was asked after the game, what are your thoughts on the game? Or something along the lines of, what are your thoughts about the game, or who is the better team? And Mr. McKinnon had the balls to stand there and say, I'll let, the people who watch the game be the judge of who is the better team. It was the team that won. And that's the beauty of it. Like, they may have felt like they were the better team. They didn't win. They didn't do enough to win. Shots on goal, like the fact that they damn near outshot us 2-1, that doesn't matter. They didn't cash in on as many of their shots as we did. And quite frankly, if Nathan McKinnon didn't miss 2 or 3 wide open nets, they probably would have won. But guess what? He did. Wasn't supposed to happen. Wasn't supposed to be. And it was a great game. Great all-around win. So awesome that we have these bragging rights for the next at least 4 years. Probably, hopefully 8 years after we win gold. I think the next Winter Olympics are Switzerland, I want to say. Something like that. But yeah. Super, super awesome. Super proud of this team. Can't wait to get one of those shirts. Yeah. Next thing I wanted to talk about, our friends at Unreal. Once again, different style, different format of a podcast, but we always want to shout out our good friends, especially Unreal. Tonight I'm rocking my Highlands quarter zip Carmine red. Super nice, super lightweight feel. And then I got my just UNRL Crossroads black hat. Overall awesome hat. You can wear it golfing, you can wear it bumming around, you can wear it up, wear it down, wear it wherever the hell you want. Super comfy clothes. I've said it before and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. They are the top of the line in athleisure and just clothes in general. I don't think I have anything that I am not very, very, very uber comfortable in. It is, it's simply the best. Had their first drop of their collab with Minnesota United FC. Everything sold out very, very, very quick. But that was the 24th. But then, so for the 3 drops that they're doing, after the online drop, there's going to be an in-stadium drop in Allianz Field, and that will be tomorrow for those that are interested. A 3:30 game, and it'll be the Loons home opener. Their season opener was just last weekend, the 21st in Austin, Texas. But yeah, go to Allianz Field if you want to get it, and it should be a good one. And for those that might not be interested, the next online drop, is March 17th. And then the last online drop will be April 14th. So can't wait to see what they come up with. This first one was just really cool. They did, for the women, they did the Lux Break oversized hoodie. And the men's, they just did the crossover hoodie. Really nice, big loon in the middle for the men's crossover hoodie. And for the women's, just one kind of in the corner, which is, both of them look sweet. And then there's this awesome black style with the white and blue on the outsides hats. Really, really fun. Really, really awesome stuff. Go check them out. UNRL.com, and they are all over social media. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, TikTok, you name it, they're on it. But make sure to remember and use my link in the description to get $15 off your first order and start accruing points that you can use in the future for anywhere from $50 off to $15 off orders. And make sure you tell your friends that the Mini Weekend sent you. So yeah, and then after that, we're about halfway done now. So the next thing I wanted to bring up was Twins spring training is underway. Very underwhelming start to spring training. They're 2-6 in their first 8. A week ago from tomorrow, the 21st, is when they first got kicked off, but it's not pretty. Lost a game to Baltimore 5-10. Lost a game earlier today to the New York Yankees 5-7. Now a lot of people might be saying, don't freak out too much, Jack, for some reason. They don't always play all their top players and what have you, but yeah, it's not looking great so far. So far, the only 2 pitchers with a win under their belt are Connor Prilip and Kendry Rojas. So it'll be interesting to kind of get to know some of these guys' names. And it's funny looking at this roster, looking at these stats. I couldn't tell you a lot of these players. Matt Wallner, I know. Eric Wegman, kind of new. Gio Urshela, Byron Buxton, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Tristan Gray, Orlando Arcia, Kalen Culpepper. I think he's like something of a rookie. I wonder if that's Dante Culpepper's relation, something like that. But should be an interesting spring. I was going to say preseason spring training. Spring training will go through the end or March 24th before the season will officially start in the last week of March. So for my baseball fans, stay on the lookout. And if you are a member of or have MLB TV, you can watch just about every single one of these games. So go check them out. I'm getting super excited. I'm not over the moon about the Twins' chances of being amazing this year, but I always love watching baseball, and my son is crazy about baseball, so it'll be some fun for us to watch. That is non-contact. I guess 7 and 8 are kind of the same thing, but they're kind of just different topics. But the next two things, Boldy as an underrated scorer, and the Wild win right out of the Olympic break. So, like I said, I saw this excerpt on my phone earlier this week that said, is Matt Boldy an underrated scorer? And 100,000,000% he is. I think, not just as a Wild fan, but as a hockey fan, this man is lighting it up. He's currently leading the team right now in goals after tonight's 2-5 loss to the Mammoth. He has 35 goals on the season. That's 2 more than Kaprizov. Last season, and everybody knows how great Kaprizov is. Last season with Kaprizov out, Matt Boldy led the way with 27 goals. 23-24 season, he was 3rd in goals, only behind Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson with 29. And then in the 22-23 season, he was still second to Kirill Kaprizov with 31 goals. It's always amazing to me, some of these teams like us where everybody knows about your star player Kirill Kaprizov. I think Matt Boldy is just as good as Kirill Kaprizov. Sometimes he actually shows slights of being better than Kirill, because sometimes Kirill's not always available. I don't want to jinx him, but over the last couple of years, Matt Boldy has been more available, than Kirill Kaprizov. Yeah, we don't need to get into that. But yeah, I really do think he's an underrated scorer. He's a guy that doesn't get talked about enough, and he's arguably depending on the night, the first or second best player on this team. And he, showed out and showed just what he was worth and all that good stuff on the Olympic stage, which is amazing. And we still have him under contract, I think, for like 5 years, which is unbelievable. I hope him and Kirill, just like this, stay Wild for life. And then, like I said, kind of 2-1. The Wild won right out the gates. They got a huge statement win just last night in Colorado against Nathan MacKinnon and the Colorado Avalanche, winning by a score of 5-2. Excuse me. Edit. The key point in this game was the Wild managed to go 2 for 6 on the power play while holding the Avalanche 0 for 3 on the power play. Boldy got a pair of empty net goals to seal the victory, and Philip Gustafsson made 44 saves coming out of the break. So a huge, huge win. Obviously stunk that they lost second of a back-to-back tonight. But we're right there with Colorado. Even after losing to Utah tonight. Colorado's number 1 with 85 points. But it's going to be a tough battle. We're number 2 with 80, and Dallas is right on our heels with 79 points. So it'll be a photo finish for the next, March, essentially just over a month, probably. Like that said, Kyle Anderson has agreed to a contract buyout with the Memphis Grizzlies and plans to sign with the Minnesota Timberwolves after clearing waivers, sources tell ESPN. And they also noted Anderson spent 2 seasons with us at the Timberwolves, 2004. And a lot of people might be looking at this and say, yeah, whatever, like, who cares? And, who cares? I care. If you look at, again, he's not a starter, the 11-year vet. This year for Memphis, This year for Memphis, or his couple of games with Memphis, and then he was actually with Utah, I kind of forgot. He was averaging 21.5 minutes per game, 6.8 points per game, just under 3 assists per game, 4.3 rebounds a game, and shooting 34% from 3 and 48% from the field. And I really think, I think this is kind of a subtle but big move for the Timberwolves, because now they have, if you look at their depth chart, and I'll bring it up here, if you look at their depth chart, they can essentially go like 11 deep, because right now your starting 5 is either Dante DiVincenzo or Bones Highland at the 1, Anthony Edwards, Jade McDaniels, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. And then after those 6, you have Ayo Atasanomu, who has already shown that he's going to be a baller. Terrence Shannon Jr., you got Nas Reed's coming off the bench. Jalen Clark coming off the bench. And then you got Kyle Anderson. So you have options. You have different lineups. You get different things to throw out there. Kyle Anderson, 6'9" and can shoot the three ball just as well, if not better than anybody else. So once again, I think this is a kind of a quiet but sneaky good move for the Timberwolves as they try to, kind of get some momentum going here heading into the home stretch of the season. And once again, very similar to the Wild. Excuse me, very similar to the Wild. The Timberwolves are very much in, hold their destiny in their own hands. In the 5th spot right now, 8.5 games behind Oklahoma City. We're tied with Denver, technically for the 4th, 5th spot, but then we're only 1 game out of 3rd place from Houston and just 6.5 games from San Antonio. I mean, with more than enough time to go, the number 1 seed is just as much at play as the 5th, or 6th, or 7th seed. So, yeah, should be, like I said, just like the Wild, should be a fun last couple months here to kind of get started and get going with. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about with you guys, I promised you guys last week that starting this next week, which is now, weekly underdog parlay. So this week's parlay is coming to us in the form of the NBA, and it's $5. I'll put it right down here, like I do every single time. $5 to win $36.75 with the 40% boost. Like I've mentioned, for some of you that may be watching, I am not I like to gamble, but I live by the mantra of I don't gamble any more than I can afford to lose. I'm not a guy that's going to be betting $100 on something or anything like that. Then the last thing I will say before we jump into these picks is I am not a financial advisor, so do with these picks what you will. I will not come after you guys for any wins, just like I am not liable for any losses. If you have a gambling addiction, call 1-800-GAMBLER so they can get you the tools and resources to get better and beat your addiction. So without further ado, we got 4 prop bets to turn $5 into $36.75. So let's just jump right into it. The first one, I like LaMelo Ball higher than 7.5 assists. He plays Portland tomorrow, and simply put, he thrives at home with higher playmaking volume. His defense is below average at best, and I think he consistently clears the mid-8s, 9s in good spots against is usually kind of flirting with double-doubles with points and assists. So I like the over there. The second one I like, Scotty Barnes higher than 31.5 PRA. Simply put, I think this PRA is just way too low for Scotty Barnes. For Toronto, this man is clearly the alpha, especially against a super weak Washington team who's a bottom tier. A lot of people may be saying 31.5 is kind of nice at a nice spot because he'll probably get brought out. He's not going to be playing a ton because they're going to blow him out. Even if they're blowing them out, he's not going to be taken out until at least halfway through the 3rd quarter. Between points, assists, and rebounds, I think he's going to clear 31.5 with ease. I mean, he could easily get this with 18 points, 6 rebounds, or 6 and 4s of the other one. I mean, I don't think it's going to be very hard for him to clear that tomorrow. Third one I like, Bam Adebayo over 9.5 rebounds. This man just clearly dominates the boards at home. They're going up against Houston tomorrow, and their rebounding is vulnerable when they're not at full strength. Elite consistency on the glass, and this is a safe higher unless he gets into foul trouble, which I just don't see happening in this one. So I like Bam Adebayo to clear 9.5 points. And then the last one I like is Brandon Podziemski to go over 4.5 assists. Excuse me. This is a man that in his last 5 or 6 games is averaging, I think, 6 or 7 assists. So I think this line is a little bit lower than it should be. With Curry out, Podziemski steps into a major ball handling creation role on national TV, and he's shown strong assist trends in increased minutes, and is favorable against the Lakers' perimeter D. So those are the 4 picks I like for this week for you guys. LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists. Scotty Barnes over 31.5 PRA. Bam Adebayo over 9.5 rebounds. Brandon Bajinski over 4.5 assists. That's what we got for you guys. Those were the 10 things I wanted to talk with you guys about. And with that, until next time, Minnie.